May-June 2024, paper 2-2, question 1a. Oranges cost $1.45 per kilogram. Asher buys 1.2 kilogram of oranges. Find the change he receives from $10. So basically, 1 kilogram of oranges, it costs $1.45, and he is buying 1.2 kgs. So 1.2 kilograms will cost X. I'll be solving this by ratio method. We'll cross multiply. X is equal to 1.2 multiplied by 1.45, and this will be equal to 1.74. So he buys 1.2 kilogram and he needs to pay $1.74. Now find the change he receives from $10. So the total that he's gonna be giving is $10, and the amount that he needs to pay, payable amount, is $1.74. So to find the change that he receives, we'll just subtract 1.74 from 10, and we'll be getting 8.26. So this will be his change. In part B, Maria pays a fee to sell strawberries at a market. Each day she pays $75 plus a payment for the mass of strawberries she sells. The fee Maria pays per day is shown on the graph. One day her fee is $240. Use the graph to find the mass of strawberries that she sells. So one small box on the y-axis, it represents $10, and one small box on the x-axis also represents 10. So Maria is paying $240. Dollars are on the y-axis. 240 will be 210, 20, 30, 40. This will be 240. When I'm going to extend this line, and on the x-axis, this line is going to touch this small box, which is 310, 320, 330. So the mass of strawberries she sells that day is 330. In part B2, on Saturday, Maria sells 270 kilograms of strawberries. On Sunday, she sells 220 kilograms of strawberries. Find the total fee she pays for these 2 days. So first, mass is given on the x-axis. So we're going to find the price using the graph. 270 kilograms. 270 will be, this is 250, 260, 270. And on the y-axis, this is correlating to 210. So the price of 270 kilograms is $210. Then for 220 kg of strawberries, 220 is somewhere over here. This will be 185. So $185 will be the price on Sunday. Find the total fee she pays. So the total fee will be on Saturday and Sunday combined will be 210 plus 185, and this is basically equal to $395. So on Saturday she is earning 210. On Saturday she's paying 210, and on Sunday she's paying 185. So the total fee that she pays for both would be adding them both, and that is $395. The fee per day for Maria now increases. Each day she now pays $90 plus a payment of $60 for every 100 kg of strawberries she sells. On the grid, draw a line to represent this new fee when she sells 0 kg to 500 kg. So we'll basically be drawing a table of mass against fee. Each day, the question is stating that each day she is paying $90. So even when the mass that she's selling is 0, the fee that she has to pay is 90. So at 0 mass, she's paying $90. And then for every 100 kg of strawberries that she's selling, she has to pay $60. So for 100 kg, the fee will be 90 plus 60, that is 150. we'll be doing the same thing till 500 kg. For 200 kgs, we'll basically be adding 60 to 150, and that is 210. Then 210 plus 60 is 270. 270 plus 60 is 330. And 330 plus 60 is 390. Now we're going to plot this on the graph. When the mass is 0, the payment will be 90. So 0 and 90 is the first point. The second point is 100 and 150. Third point is 200 and 210. $300 and $270. $400 and $330. And $500 and $390. Now we're just gonna draw a straight line to connect all these points. The final line will be like this. This is the answer to B, part 3. Now in part C, write the ratio 1.6 kg to 600 gram to 2.4 kg in its simplest form. All the three units are different, so first we'll convert the units to make them uniform. So I'm going to convert kgs into grams. 1 kg is basically equal to 1000 grams. So when I'm going to convert 1.6 kg into grams, I'll basically be doing 1.6 multiplied by 1000, and this is equal to 1600 grams. Same as with 2.4. 2.4 kg into 1000 is equal to 2400 grams. So the final ratio will be 1600 to 600 to 2400. Now you have to express it in the simplest form. So all the zeros will cancel out. And 16, 6 and 24. All these three are divisible by 2. So we'll be dividing them by 2. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 into 3 is 6. And 2 into 12 is 24. This cannot be further divided. So this will be our final answer. Question 2. The diagram shows a fair spinner numbered from 1 to 5. The score is the number the spinner lands on. In part A, the spinner is spun once. Find the probability that the score is, in part 1, it's 3. So the total outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the total number of outcomes are 5. This will basically be our denominator. Now 3 is present on the spinner only once. So the possibility for a 3 being shown is only 1. So the final answer will be 1 over the total, that is 5. 1 over total. I'll write the formula. Then in part 2, even. Find the probability that the score is even. Even numbers are basically 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. Here on the spinner, there are 2 possibilities for an even outcome, that is 2 and 4. So the final probability will be 2 divided by total, that is 5. So the final probability for an even number will be 2 divided by 5. In part B, the spinner is spun twice and the 2 scores are added together. Complete the possibility diagram to show the outcomes. So we'll basically be adding 4 and 1, we get 5. Then 4 and 2 are added to get 6. 4 and 3 are added to get 7. 4 and 4 added to get 8. 4 plus 5 is 9. Here 3 plus 4. 3 and 4 are added to get 7. 5 plus 3 are 8. Then 5 and 1 is 6, 7, 8, and then 5 plus 4 is 9, 5 plus 5 is 10. So basically what we did to complete the possibility diagram was that we added the second spin to the first spin to get these digits. Now in part 2, find the probability that the outcome is 4. Probability for the outcome being 4 will basically be equal to frequency of 4 on the diagram divided by the total outcomes. Now the frequency of 4 in the diagram is basically 1, 2, 3, 3. So the frequency of 4 is 3 and the total number of outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 into 5 is 25. 25 are the total number of outcomes. So the final probability will be 3 divided by 25. Find the probability that the outcome is greater than 6. So the formula would be probability is equal to frequency of outcomes that are greater than 6 divided by total. Total will always remain constant, that is 25. And we have to find the digits that are greater than 6 using the possibility diagram. Greater than 6 would be 7, 8, 9 and 10. So 7, 8, 9 and then 10. The frequency is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the probability will be 9 divided by 25. There's another 7 right here. So the probability would be 10. Frequency is 10. So the probability would be 10 divided by 25. We can also simplify 10 and 25 by using 5. 5 2s are 10, 5 5s are 25. So this can also be written as 2 divided by 5. Question number 3a, the exchange rate between dollars and Malaysian ringgits is $1 equal to 4.19. The exchange rate between dollars and Pakistani rupees is $1 equal to 179.12. Find the exchange rate between Malaysian ringgits and Pakistani rupees. So both of these are equal to $1. So basically if we equate them, $1 in Malaysian ringgits is 4.19 and $1 in Pakistani rupees are 179.12. We can equate both of them because both of them are equal to $1. Now if we simplify this, 1 Malaysian ringgit will now be equal to X. I'll solve this using ratios. X will be 179.12 divided by 4.19 and this will be equal to 42.75 pkr. So 1 Malaysian ringgit is equal to 42.75 Pakistani rupees. In part B, Farhad invests $1,500 in an account paying compound interest at a rate of 4% per year. Gulshan invests $1,500 in an account paying simple interest at a rate of X% per year. They have the same amount of money in their accounts at the end of 2 years. Calculate the value of X. Them having the same amount of money, basically compound interest, the formula is amount of money is equal to P bracket 1 plus r, and this is raised to the power of t. And for simple interest, the formula is amount of money is equal to p bracket 1 plus rate multiplied by time. So if I calculate the compound interest first, amount of money is equal to p, that is 1500, 1 plus r was 4%, 4 divided by 100 to the power t. T is basically given as 2 years. And then for simple interest, I'll follow the same steps. A is equal to 1500 bracket 1 plus, here R was x. So x divided by 100 multiplied by t, that is also 2 years. Now, because the question is stating that they have the same amount of money at the end of 2 years, I'll basically equate both of these. I'll equate them both. So, amount of money that Farhad has is equal to the amount of money that Gulshan has. I'm going to simplify this to find the value of x. And 15 will also cancel out. And this, when I'm solving this entire bracket using the calculator, I'm getting the answer 1.0816, which is equal to 1 plus 2x divided by 100. 2 ones are 2 50s are, so 1.0816 is equal to 1 plus x divided by 50. When I simplify this, 1.0816 minus 1 multiplied by 50 will be equal to x, and x is basically equal to 4.08. This will be our final answer. Question 4. The diagram shows the first 4 patterns in a sequence, and we have to draw pattern 5 on the grid. So basically, if I analyze the given patterns, pattern 1 is made up of one triangle on either side. Pattern 2 is made up of 2 on either sides. Pattern 3 is made up of 3 triangles. 4 is made up of 4 triangles on all 3 sides. So if I copy the same sequence, I'll have to make one large triangle. These are 5 triangles on the bottom line and 5 triangles on either sloped lines as well. Then I'll shade in the first row we have 1, 2 and then 3. Basically the shaded triangles are increasing with every level. So that's the pattern that I'll be following. In the last row I'll shade one more than the previous row. So I'll be shading 4 triangles. This will be our final diagram. In part 2, complete the table. Total number of triangles 1, 4, 9 and 6. Basic 9 and 16. So basically if I analyze the trend, if this is n, all of these numbers are n, total number of triangles are equal to n square. They're following this pattern. So 5 square is 25 and 6 square is 36. Number of gray triangles, this is plus 1, plus 2. In pattern 4, if I count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is plus 3. So now following the trend, I'll add 4 to get the number of gray triangles in pattern 5. That is 10. And then I'll add plus 5. And this is 15 in pattern number 6. Then the last line is number of white triangles. In number of white triangles, this is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. So we'll follow the same trend. Plus 4, that is 10. Plus 5, that is 15. And then plus 6, this should be equal to 21. Now in part 3, write an expression in terms of n for the total number of triangles in pattern n. Total number of triangles is this one right here, and here we had already found the general formula, that was n square. So for total number of triangles, the expression would be n square. In part 4, write an expression in terms of n for the number of white triangles. This is for white triangles: 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, and so on. Now when I find the difference between them, this is plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, and plus 6. And the difference between the differences is plus 1. This is a common difference. The second difference is basically common, and that is plus 1. Now the general, this will be a quadratic sequence, and the general formula for a quadratic sequence is 8an square plus bn plus c. In order to find a, the general formula is second difference divided by 2. Here the second difference is basically plus 1. So a will be 1 divided by 2. Then for b, the general formula is 3a plus b. 3a plus b is equal to the first difference. And here the first difference is basically 2. So 3a, a will be substituted by half, plus b is equal to the first difference. The first difference is basically plus 2. So that is equal to plus 2. Now the value of b will be, b is also equal to 1 over 2. To find out c, we'll use the formula a plus b plus c is equal to 1. A and b both are half, plus c is equal to 1. So c will be equal to 0. So the overall expression will be half n square plus half n. Part B, the third term of a linear sequence is 34. The eighth term of the linear sequence is 14. Find the value of the first term. First term meaning we have to find the value of a. We'll use the general equation an is equal to a plus n minus 1 multiplied by d, which stands for difference. So the eighth term, first the third one, third term, n will basically be equal to 3. So a3 is equal to a plus 3 minus 1d, and this is equal to a plus 2d, and this is equal to 34, which is given to us in the question. Now for the 8th term, n will be equal to 8, so a will be equal to a plus 7d, and this is basically equal to 14, which was also given to us in the question. Now I'll use this equation to make a the subject. A is equal to 34 minus 2d, which will be our first equation, and this will be our second equation. I'll use substitution to solve both of them. A plus 7d is equal to 14. A will be substituted by this value right here. 34 minus 2d plus 7d is equal to 14. This will be equal to 5d. 5d is equal to minus 20. So difference will be minus 4. I'll use this value of d using this equation to find a. So a is equal to 34 minus 2d, 34 minus 2 bracket minus 4, and this should be equal to 34 plus 8. 4 into 2 minus 2 into minus 4 is basically 8, and this will be equal to 42 will be our final answer. Part 2, find the value of the first negative term of the sequence. The first term was 42, and the difference was basically minus 4. So we'll keep subtracting 4 from all the values until we get the first negative term. So 42 minus 4 would be 38. 38 minus 4 is 34. Then 30, 26, 22, 18, 14, 10, 6, 2, and then 2 minus 4. 2 minus 4 will basically be equal to minus 2. Minus 2 is our first negative term of the sequence. So our final answer will be minus 2. Question number 5a. Describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto B. Now I'm going to first write down the coordinates of A. The coordinates of A are minus 1 comma 4, minus 1 comma 6, minus 2 comma 5, and minus 2 comma 6. And the coordinates of B are basically minus 4 comma 1, minus 6 comma 1, and minus 6 comma 2, and minus 5 comma 2. So basically I can see that A and B are reflections of each other. What I don't know is that they is the line of reflection. So the line of reflection, to recognize it, would be, I'm going to look at the trend with which the coordinates are changing, and the trend with which the coordinates are changing is, for example, minus 1 comma 4, it becomes minus 4 comma 1, which basically means that minus x comma y, it is becoming, the magnitudes are changing with each other. The magnitudes are being switched. So minus x comma y, it becomes minus y comma x. So the magnitudes of and x are being swapped with each other. This is basically a shortcut for reflection in the line y is equals to minus x. So if I want to prove it with the diagram, I'm going to draw the line y is equal to minus x. And we can see that A is the perfect reflection of B in the line y is equal to minus x. So the shortcut for recognizing y is equal to minus x, I'll write it down over here. This is minus x comma y. It will convert into minus y comma x. The sign remains as it is. Only the coordinates, only the numbers will be switched with each other. So I'm going to write this down. This is basically reflection in the line y is equal to minus x. Now in part B, shape A is mapped onto C by an enlargement of scale factor 3. So the coordinates of A were, I'm going to copy these down right here. These have to be enlarged by a scale factor of 3. So basically it means that they have to be multiplied by 3. Two coordinates are already given to us. Instead of multiplying the scale factor, I'll just copy these down. Basically 2 comma 5 and 5 comma 2 are given. So 2 comma 5 will be this and 5 comma 2 will be here. I'm going to connect these two lines together. This is the parallel line. No, this is the diagonal line. So the diagonal line is drawn. Now the remaining lines will be drawn like this. Because this is made up of one small box, this will automatically be enlarged by a scale factor of 3. So this will become 3 boxes. This is also one box. So when we enlarge it using a scale factor of 3, it will become 3 boxes. And these are 2. So when we enlarge them, they'll become 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this whole diagram is shape C. Find the coordinates of the center of enlargement. To find the center of enlargement, we'll basically connect the vertices of A and C, corresponding vertices of A and C. So when I'm connecting all the vertices, all the points are passing through a common point, that is this point right here, and the common point will be the center of enlargement. So this common point is -4, 5. So the coordinates for center of enlargement are -4, 5. So for this, I'll write down the steps. Connect the vertices, and intersection of the vertices will be the center of enlargement. Find the area of shape C. Shape C, we can see from the diagram, is a trapezium. So the formula for area of trapezium is half into sum of parallel sides into perpendicular height. Now here, the parallel sides are, this is one parallel side, this is the other parallel side, and this will be the height. So one parallel side, it measures up to 3, the other is 6. So I'll write 1/2, 3 plus 6, and the height is basically this, and it is 3 blocks. When I'm going to simplify it, it will be 1/2, 9 into 3, and this is 27/2, that is also equal to 13.5. So that is the area of shape C, which is a trapezium. In part C, transformation T is represented by the matrix 0, -1, 1 and 0. Transformation T maps A onto D. On the grid, draw D. So the formula for matrix is basically matrix multiplied by object is equal to image. Here the object is A and the image is D. So the coordinates of A are, the matrix as given in the question is 0, 1, -1, 0, and the coordinates of A are -1 and 4, then -1 and 6, -2 and 5, and -2 and 6. When we multiply both these together, we'll get the image, that is D. To multiply two matrices with each other, we'll basically multiply the rows with the columns, and we'll repeat this. Each of the row will be multiplied by the column. First, we'll do the upper row, and then we'll do the bottom row. So 0 multiplied by -1, that is 0, and then -1 multiplied by 4 is -4. So first will be -4. Then I'm going to continue. 0 with -1 will be 0, and then -1 multiplied by 6 will be -6. So the second one will be -6. Then I'm going to multiply 0 with -2, that is 0, and then -1 into 5 will be -5. And the last one is 0 into -2 is 0, and -1 into 6 is -6. Then for the bottom row, I'm going to repeat the same thing. 1 into -1 is -1, and then 0 and 4 is 0. So -1 plus 0 is basically -1. I'm going to continue. 1 multiplied by -1 is 1. 0 into 6 is 0. So -1 plus 6 is plus 0 is 6. And then 5, no, this is -1, and then -2 and -2. So this will be the coordinates for D. It can also be written as -4, -1, -6, -1, -5, -2, and -6, -2. When I'm going to draw this on the graph, I'm going to plot all the values on the graph. -4 and -1, then -6 and -1, -5 and -2, and -6 and -2. This will be object D. Describe fully the single transformation represented by the matrix 0, 1, minus 1 and 0. Now A onto D, A onto D. This entire figure is being mapped on this. So first I'm going to take any two coordinates and I'm going to compare one coordinate of A. This was minus 1 comma 4. This is being converted to the coordinate of D, which is minus 4 comma minus 1. So if this is x and this is y, then we can say that it is being converted to minus y comma x. Basically this shortcut right here, it applies for anti-clockwise rotation 90 degree. So we can say that the single transformation represented by this matrix is rotation 90 degree anti-clockwise about the center, which is origin, and origin is 0 comma 0. Question 6a. In the Venn diagram, shade the region represented by P union Q. Now this U right here, this is a symbol that represents union. It basically means P union Q means P and Q. So we'll have to shade the entire region that includes P and Q together, which is basically this whole region. Then in part B, use set notation to describe the shaded region in the Venn diagram. The whole of the diagram is shaded except for x intersection y. X intersection y, this symbol right here, it represents intersection, and it basically means the common place between x and y. In the question, it's showing that all the region outside of this common area is being shaded. So that means the area that was shaded is x intersection y and whole complement. This complement means everything outside of x intersection y. So that means if we're shading this region, we'll be getting this diagram right here. So the set notation to describe the shaded region would be x intersection y whole complement. Let's see, universal set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and A and B will basically be parts of universal. Universal is basically the parent set, and A and B will be made from the terms in the universal set. So A states x is a factor of 40. So factors of 40 are 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, and 10. All of these are part of the universal set. And then B is x is an odd number. So odd numbers from the universal set are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. To complete the Venn diagram, first I'll be filling in this common space between A and B. In this common space, I'll basically write all those terms that are present in both set A and set B. 1 is already written. Aside from 1, 5 is also common. So I'll write 5 here. Then aside from 1 and 5, all the rest of them are not common. So I'll write in this A region, I'll write those terms that are only present in A, which are 2, 4, and 8. And then in this B region, I'll write those terms that are only present in B, which are 7 and 9. Then in part 2, list the elements of A complement intersection B. So A complement means everything outside A, and intersection B intersection B basically means everything that is common in A prime and B. So we'll basically be writing the elements of only this part right here. We'll write the elements that are only present in B. And those elements are 3, 7, and 9. One element of universal is chosen at random. Find the probability that this element is in A intersection B. A intersection B is this region right here. So the total, basically the probability formula would be number of elements in A intersection B divided by total elements in universal set. Now the number of elements in A intersection B are 2. These are 2, and the total number of elements in universal are 10. So automatically the probability would be 2 divided by 10, and when we simplify this we'll be getting 1 over 5. So the probability would be 1 over 5. Question 7a, solve x over 3 is equals to 7. Now this 3 is being divided over here, so when we shift it on the other side it will multiply. X is equal to 7 multiplied by 3, and this is equal to 21. Part B, solve 6x minus 5 is equal to 2 bracket x plus 3. So we'll first open the bracket by multiplying 2x plus 6. 6x, this 2, this is positive, it will shift on the other side and become negative, and this 5 when shifted on the other side will become positive. So 4x is equal to 11. Final answer for x would be 11 divided by 4. Part C, factorize 3x square minus 2x minus 8. Now 3 into 8 is 24. We basically have to find two numbers which when multiplied will give 24 and which when subtracted will give 2. When multiplied they give 24 and when subtracted they give 2. So I'll choose 4 into 6. 4 into 6 is 24, and when 4 is subtracted from 6 it gives us 2. So by middle term breaking I'll be solving this. 3x square minus 3x square plus 4x minus 6x minus 8. I'll take x common, 3x plus 4, and here I'll take 2 common, 3x plus 4. Basically this minus is being taken common, so when it is taken common this sign will be plus because minus and minus are plus. The final factorized form will be x minus 2 and 3x plus 4. Part D, ax plus b whole square is equal to 4x square minus 12x plus c. Given that a is greater than 0, find the value of a, b and c. So I'll solve this using by comparing the coefficients. First I'm going to expand this bracket using a plus b whole square. This is equal to a square plus 2ab plus c square. I'll be putting this general formula on the bracket. Ax whole square plus 2ab plus b square. And when I simplify this, I'm going to be getting a square x square plus 2abx plus b square. And this will be equated to this equation, which is 4x square plus minus 12x plus c. Now I'm going to compare all the coefficients. First, I'm going to compare the coefficients of x square, which are a square and 4. So a square is equal to 4. A will be equal to under root 4, which is equal to 2. Then if I compare the coefficients of x, I'll be getting the coefficient of x is 2ab, and on the other side it is minus 12. So 2ab is equal to minus 12. A will be replaced by 2. So b is equal to minus 12 divided by 4, which will be equal to minus 3. Now the coefficient of x0 is basically the constant. So here the constant is c, and on the other side the constant is b square. So b square is equal to c. B we found out was minus 3, that is equal to c. So c is equal to 9. So our final answers will be A is equal to 2, B is equal to minus 3, and C is equal to 9. Question number 8a. Formula for volume of a cone, sphere, curved surface area of cone, and surface area of a sphere are given. A solid is formed by placing a cone on top of a hemisphere. So this is the hemisphere, and above it is the cone. The cone and hemisphere each have radius r, so the radius is common. Height of the solid is 10 cm. The curved surface area of the hemisphere is 145. Show that r is equals to 4.80, correct to 2 decimal places. So the surface area of the hemisphere is given, that is 145 centimeter square, and the formula given in the question is 4 pi r square for a sphere. So for a hemisphere is half of a sphere. It will be 4 pi r square divided by 2, that is 145 is equal to 2 pi r square. 145 divided by 2 pi and square root. When we put this in the calculator, we'll be getting 4.80 centimeters. In part 2, calculate the volume of the solid. Volume of the solid means volume of cone plus volume of the hemisphere. Now volume of the cone and the sphere, both formulas are given. Volume for a hemisphere will be 4 over 3 pi r cube divided by 2. So it will ultimately be 2 over 3 pi r cube. For volume of a cone, we need to find the height. So height would be, total height of the solid is 10. Height of the cone would be this little region right here. This is also the radius, which is equal to 4.80. So the height of the cone, this entire region, would be 10 minus 4.80, and that is equal to 5.2. So 5.2 is basically h, which is the height of the cone. Now we'll just put the values in the formula. Volume of a cone is 1 over 3 pi r square h plus volume of the hemisphere, that is 2 over 3 pi r cube. R is basically 4.80 centimeters, and h, we found h to be 5.2 centimeters. So when we put all the values in the formula, we'll be getting 1 over 3 pi 4.8 square, and h was 5.2, plus 2 over 3 pi, and r was once again 4.8 cube. When we put this whole thing in the calculator, we'll be getting the answer 357.08, and when I round it off to 1 decimal place, it will be 357.1 centimeter cubed, which is our final answer. Now in part 3, calculate the curved surface area of the cone. Curved surface area of the cone was given to us. pi RL. So curved surface area of the cone is pi RL. Radius was 4.80, and the length is basically this region. It's basically this region. This part will be the length, and this is 4.80. So I'll draw this triangle here. This part is L. This is height, that is 5.2, and this is the radius, that is 4.80. So length is basically hypotenuse. L is equal to square root 5.2 square plus 4.8 square, and that is equal to L is 7.07 centimeters. I'll take this down. Now I'll put all the values in the formula. We'll be getting pi into 4.80 into L, that was 7.07, and when I simplify it, the answer will be 107.1 centimeter square will be our final answer. In part B, sector A and sector B are shown. The angle of sector B is 20 times smaller than the angle of sector A. Angle of sector A was basically x. The radius of sector B is 20 times longer than the radius of sector A. Calculate the area. So first, if we're talking about angle, to find the angle of sector B, we're basically going to take angle of sector A, that is x, minus 20%, because in the question it's written sector B is 20% smaller than angle of sector A. So 20 divided by 100. This will be x, 20 over 100 x. So if I take x common, it will be 1 minus 2 over 10, and this will be 0.8x. So the angle of sector B is basically 0.8x. Now if we're talking about the radius of sector B is 20% longer than radius of sector A. Radius of sector A was y, sector B is 20% longer. So radius of sector B is basically y plus 20 over 100 x. Not x, this is y. So I'll take y common, 1 plus 2 divided by 10, and that will be equal to 1.2y. So this is the radius of sector B. Now the question was asking for the area of sector B as a percentage of the area of sector A. The general formula for area of a sector is theta over 360 multiplied by pi r square. The question is asking for area of sector B as a percentage of area of sector A. So area of A multiplied by 100, and this will be area of B is basically theta, which is 0.8x divided by 360 multiplied by pi into r square. R for B was 1.2y squared, and this divided by area of sector A, which was theta was x over 360 multiplied by pi, and the radius of sector A was y. This whole will be multiplied by 100. When I simplify this, 360 and 360 are cancelling out. Pi and pi will cancel out, and y will cancel out, and even x will cancel out. So we'll be getting 0.8 into 1.2 squared divided by 1 multiplied by 100, and the final answer will be 115.2. So this is basically area of sector B as a percentage of area of sector A. Question 9. A shop sells two varieties of apple trees. Cumulative frequency shows the heights in meters of 80 variety A trees. Use the diagram to estimate the median. Median is basically half or 50%. So basically 50% or half of 80 is 40. So we're going to check the height at 40. So 40 on the y-axis. This is going to touch the x-axis at this point. One small box on the x-axis is basically 0.01. So this will be 1.31, 1.32, 1.33. So our median will be 1.33. Then the 30th percentile of 80 would be multiplied by 80. 0 and 0, 0, 0 will cancel out. 3 into 8 is 24. So we're going to check the graph at 24. One small box on the y-axis is 2. So 22 and 24 is right here. This is 1.25. So this is going to be 1.26, 1.27, 1.28. So the 30th percentile is 1.28. Trees with height greater than y meters are graded class 1. 2 over 5 of 80 trees are graded class 1. Find the value of y. So 2 over 5 of 80 are class 1. Number of trees in class 1 are 32. Then trees with height greater than y meter are graded class 1. Total number of trees are 80. We're going to subtract 32 from 80. We get 48. Now these 48 trees, these represent the cumulative frequency. So we're going to check the height at 48 cumulative frequency. 48 is right here. We're going to check the value on the x-axis. And this value would be 1.36. So y is basically 1.36. Now in part 3, complete the frequency table for the heights of variety A trees. First two are given. We have to find 1.3 and 1.4. I'm going to check the cumulative frequency at 1.3. At 1.3, it is basically 30. And at 1.4, this is equal to 58. So I'm going to subtract 58 and 30. 58 minus 30 is basically 28. Then I'm going to repeat this same thing with 1.4 and 1.5. At 1.4 it's 58 and at 1.5 it is 72, 74, 76. So 58 and 76. So I'm going to subtract 58 from 76. We'll be getting 18. Then 1.5 is 76. 1.6 is 80. So 80 minus 76. This is equal to 4. So the completed table is 28, 18 and 4. In part B, the frequency table shows the heights of 50 variety B trees. Height is given, frequency is given. Use the midpoints of the intervals. The estimated heights of these variety B trees is 1.81 meters. Calculate the value of P and Q. So first I'm going to find the midpoint of the intervals. Midpoint, which is basically x, will be 1.6, then 1.75, 1.85 and 2.1. I found these midpoints by basically 1.7 plus 1.5, adding both the extreme values divided by 2. So we can find the midpoint by adding the two extreme values and dividing by 2. Then it's saying, it's giving the mean height. The formula for mean is sigma fx, which means sum of fx divided by total. Total given in the question is 50. So f is frequency. We have to find fx. Fx will basically be f multiplied by x, that is the midpoint. For this it is 1.6p. Then 15 multiplied by 1.75 is 26.25. Then 31.45, and last is 2.1 q. To find mean, the mean given in the question was 1.8. So I'm going to put this value over here. 1.81 is equal to sum of fx, that is 1.6p plus 26.25 plus 31.45 plus 2.1 q divided by the total. Total given in the question was 50. Now I'm going to solve this. 1.81 into 50 is equal to 1.6p plus 2.1q plus 26.25 plus 31.45. 90.5 minus this is basically equal to 57.7 is equal to 1.6p plus 2.1q. So the equation is 1.6p plus 2.1q is equal to 32.8. This is our first equation. Now in order to find the second equation, we'll basically use the question. It is stating that there are 15 total varieties, and here p is given, 15, 17 and q, all of these should be equal to 50. So the second equation will be p plus 15 plus 17 plus q is equal to 50, and that is p plus q is equal to 50 minus 15 minus 17, and p plus q is equal to 18. I'll make p the subject of the equation. P is equal to 18 minus q. This is our second equation. I'm going to substitute this equation of p into this equation. So 1.6 18 minus q plus 2.1 q is equal to 32.8. When I solve this, the value of q will be, q is equal to 8, and for p is equal to 18 minus q was 8, so p is equal to 10. Final values will be p is equal to 10 and q is equal to 8. Question 10. The diagram shows a pentagon. Pentagon has 5 sides, so n will be equal to 5. Calculate the interior angle B. Sum of angles in any shape is basically equal to 180 bracket n minus 2. For a pentagon, it will be equal to 180 5 minus 2, and this is 180 multiplied by 3, which is 540. So now we know that the sum of all angles is 540. So we'll basically add angle B plus 106 plus 120 plus 79 and 148 and equate it to 540. So what I did was I added all of these angles together and equated them to the sum, which is equal to 540. Angle B is equal to 540 minus 453, and this will be 540 minus 453 will be 87. So angle B is 87 degrees. Part B, in the pentagon, AE is equal to 8 centimeters and AD is equal to 15. So this line is 15. Calculate the length ED. We have to calculate this length, which I'm writing as X. Show your working and give your answer. So I'm going to draw this triangle down. This side is 15, this is 8, this is X, and the angle is 120 degree. The sides are A, E, and D. So I'm going to use cos rule. Cos rule will basically be AD square is equal to AE square plus DE square plus minus 2AE minus 2 into AE and DE into cos of the angle between the two lines, that is 120 degree. So AD is given to us in the question, that is 15 square. AE is given 8 and DE was basically X. So 15 square minus 8 square minus X square is equal to 2 into 8 is minus 16x into cos 120 degrees. 15 square minus 8 square, I'll make x positive, so it'll basically form a quadratic equation. So this will be x square minus 16x cos 120 minus 15 square minus 8 square is equal to 0. When I simplify this, I'll be getting x square cos 120 into 16 is basically minus 8 minus 161 is equal to 0. So the final equation will be x square plus 8x minus 161 is equal to 0. Now I'll use quadratic formula to solve this. X is equal to minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Here basically b will be 8, c is minus 161 and a is 1. So when I put the formula, I'll be getting minus 8 plus minus 8 into 8 is 64 minus 4, a is 1 and c is minus 161 divided by 2 into 1 is 2. Minus 8 plus minus under root 708 divided by 2. This can also be written in two ways, that are x is equal to minus 8 plus under root 708 divided by 2, or x is equal to minus 8 minus square root 708 divided by 2. And we'll be getting two answers, 9.30, and the second answer is minus 17.30. This answer will be rejected because length cannot be negative. So the final answer for ED will be 9.30. Question 11. Q is the point n comma minus 4, R is the point minus 1 comma 8, and S is the point 3 comma 2. Length of QR is 18. Find two possible values of n. So QR, its length will be, the general formula is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So here this is x1, this is y1, and this is x2 and this is y2. I'll be putting the values in the formula. Length of QR is 13. x2 is minus 1 minus n square plus y2 is 8 minus and minus will be plus 4. Then if I have to remove this square root, I'll square on both sides. So 13 square is equal to minus 1 minus n can also be written as 1 plus n whole square plus 12 whole square. So 13 square minus 12 square is equal to 1 plus n square. This is 25 equals to 1 plus n whole square. Because 25 is a perfect square, we'll take root on both sides. So 5 is equal to 1 plus n. And this is plus minus, so this will also be plus minus. Now plus 5 is equal to 1 plus n, comma minus 5 is equal to 1 plus n. So n is equal to 5 minus 1 is 4, or n is equal to minus 5 minus 1 is minus 6. So the two values of n are 4 and minus 6. In part B, RST is a straight line. RS ratio RT is 2:5. Find the coordinates of T. So the question is stating RS over RT is equal to 2/5. When we cross multiply, this can also be written as 5RS is equal to 2RT. Now the coordinates of R are given to us. R is minus 1, 8 and S is 3, 2. That is also given in the question. T has to be found, so we'll suppose the coordinates as x, y. So RS can also be written as 5 bracket S minus R is equal to 2 bracket T minus R. So if I make T the subject, it will be 2T is equal to 5S minus 5R plus 2R. 2T is equal to 5S minus 3R. The coordinates of S are 3, 2 and the coordinates of R are minus 1, 8. So this will be 15, 10 minus 3, 3 into 8 is 24. Now we'll subtract both the coordinates. 15 minus 3, so 15 plus 3, 18, 10 minus 24 is minus 14. And this is equal to 2T. Now when I'm going to divide 18 and minus 14 by 2, I'll be getting the coordinates of T, that are 9, minus 7. So the final coordinates of T are 9 and minus 7. Part C, find the equation of perpendicular bisector of RS. So if this line is RS, it means we have to find the equation of this line. We have to find the equation of this line, which is the perpendicular bisector. The coordinates of R is minus 1, 8, and for S, they're 3, 2. So first I'll find the gradient of RS. Gradient of RS is basically y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is equal to, if this is x1 and y1, x2 and y2, so 2 minus 8 divided by 3 minus 1. So this will be equal to 2 minus 8 is minus 6 divided by 4. Final gradient will be minus 3 over 2. Now gradient of the perpendicular bisector is basically negative reciprocal. So negative reciprocal of minus 3 over 2 will be gradient of the perpendicular bisector. Negative reciprocal is minus 2 over 3. So it becomes 2 over 3. This is the gradient for the perpendicular bisector. Coordinates of the perpendicular bisector, meaning coordinates of this point right here, this will be the midpoint of RS, because bisector means that it is crossing RS at the midpoint. So we'll find the midpoint of the line RS. The coordinates for the midpoint are x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So x1 and x2 minus 1 plus 3 divided by 2 and 8 plus 2 divided by 2. This will be equal to 1, comma 5. This is these are the coordinates for midpoint of RS and also coordinates that will be considered for the perpendicular bisector. This is basically the point where the perpendicular bisector is crossing RS. Now we'll be using the general form of the equation y is equal to mx plus c to find the overall equation. This is x, this is y, this is m. So 5 is equal to m, which is 2 over 3, and x, which is 1, plus c. C will be equal to 5 minus 2 over 3. C is 13 divided by 3. So the overall equation will be y is equal to m, which is 2 over 3x, plus c, which is 13 over 3. So y is equal to 2x plus 13 divided by 3. This is the final equation for perpendicular bisector. Here I've written a few facts about perpendicular bisector, which is that perpendicular bisector always crosses the line at the midpoint, and gradient of perpendicular bisector is negative reciprocal of the gradient of the line.